Here we are. It's Tuesday? You know what that means? It's SNL, and we are here with the return of Formula X for season number 9 of this incredibly fast series. We use the Super Formula cars, and they are all the Honda, and we have some classic liveries from teams represented throughout the years of Formula One. They are the 10 most successful teams in terms of wins being represented here today. Now, the grid sees an incredible 16 of these cars lined up on it, and we're going to go through the grid now. We are at Brands Hatch for round number 1 of the season. We have 5 rounds this season. We are at Yamagawa next week, and then we are at... Apologies, I should have put this up. Then we are at Monza with no chicane. Watkins Glen is round number 4, and then Interlagos is round number 5 of the season. So we have 5 rounds, and we have a defending champion on the grid as well, wearing the number 1 on pole position is Gasman in the Ferrari. He set that time on soft tyres, top driver in the qualifying session. His title defence already starting well. Joining him on the front row was an impressive rookie last season. He is in the Williams, the Gulf livery from 2023, and that is Regimus Prime, who is on the softs. Gasman has soft, medium, and hard tyres for the race. Regimus has soft, mediums. In third place is the 2-time champion Bunnies. He's back in the Team Lotus from 1971 this time, the gold leaf-inspired livery. He qualified on soft tyres, and he has got softs, hards, and hards for his car. In fourth place, representing Mercedes in the 2024 livery, is SNL Jam. He qualified on soft tyres and has soft hards for his race. He is joined by his new teammate, the highest debutant on the grid, and that is Yax. Yax qualified on soft tyres and has soft, medium, and hards. In sixth place is Slenderfella in the Red Bull from the 2021 Turkish Grand Prix, and he qualified as well on soft tyres. He has softs, and mediums for this race. In seventh place, making his debut, is Ben. Nice and easy to remember. Also, they're in the 2001 McLaren, so it's got Ben written all over it. He qualified impressively on hard tyres and has hards throughout the race. It's an impressive qualifying session for Ben, qualifying in 7th place. In 8th place is Speckmere. He's substituting in for Matt Psycho. He is a reserve, and this is his only race appearance as well in the Tyrrell. He qualified on softs, and he's got soft, hards, and hards for the race. In 10th place is Ajax. He won last season in a Tyrrell. He's now in a McLaren, and he qualified on hard tyres and has hards throughout the race as well. He's also called Malcolm. In 11th place, one of the most improved drivers we've seen in SNL in recent times, it's the Punisher. The Punisher qualified on mediums in his Red Bull, and he has soft, medium, and hards for his car. In 12th place, another debutant. This is Cherry Bomb in the Team Lotus, and he qualified on softs. Little mistake in qualifying. Soft, hards, and hards for him sees him start 12th on the grid. In 13th, our first Greek driver, it's Leonardo. He's qualified on the medium tyres and has soft, mediums, and mediums in his Ferrari. In 14th place is Aloe in the Renault. Again, Aloe back in a Renault, 1985 Renault livery for him this season. Hard tyres in qualifying, soft, hards, and hards for him. And then we start. We've got number 44, Mr. Smith has entered. This is his debut season in the Tyrrell. He qualified on softs, soft, mediums, and hards for him in qualifying. for 14th place. In 15th place, it's Bondimus Prime in the Williams. Softs and mediums for the race. So soft tyres for qualifying. Soft mediums for the race. And then finally, after a mistake in qualifying and aborting his lap, is Kaiser Grim in 16th place in the Renault. He qualified on hards, and he has soft, hards and hards for this race. So let's have a look at the rest of the grid. There they all are, lined up, pointing towards Paddock Hill Bend. That gravel on the outside of the corner will be inviting, I'm sure, for all the drivers, but they're going to try and avoid it. A very tight, twisty circuit in Kent. First time in Super Formula for us here in SNL. So let's get ourselves underway and ready for the race. We have everybody lined up. You can see the dip before you climb the hill to get to Paddock Hill. It's going to be interesting. 46 laps of this circuit. Drivers have 3 sets of tyres, but they do not have to use all 3 sets. And a big mix of the tyres being used as well. So, the pole position man, Gasman, defending champion in the Ferrari. What can he do from there? We're going to see in the 46 laps that follow the 5 red lights. So Gasman on pole, Ragemus in second, Bunnies in third. What can they do as they hold the lights? And they are go here for season number 9. And it's a good start from Ragemus, who's already into the lead into turn 1. Bunnies up the inside as well, as we see Jam has gone off the circuit. It looks like there's been a little bit of a touch. Let's go back just 10 seconds. Let's see on board with Jam. Whoop. What happens here? So good start on the overtake. The overtake this season is half the speed as it was before. Oh, and just as they went in, a little bit of a touch. Oh, and he's joined by the Punisher going into turn 1, but back at the front we have Ragemus and Gasman. A little bit of lag maybe from Gasman. Then Yax in 4th, Slenderfella 5th, Ben in 6th, Speckmere up to 7th, Ajax up to 8th, Bondimus, an incredible start, up into 9th, Cherry Bomb 10th, Aloe 11th, Kaiser Grim in 12th, Mr. Smith in 13th, Punisher 14th, and Leonardo in 15th, and Jam a long way at the back. But Bunny's having the brilliant start, taking the lead from 4th place into turn 1, going through the back of the circuit. We're going down towards Dingledale at the end of the circuit. Here we go, Dingledale corner, and into Sterling's, and then Clearway. And it's a clear way for Bunnies right now. He leads from Ragemus. Gasman in second. He's under pressure from Yax. I think Ajax maybe gained a couple of positions, as we see in the background. Wow, there are a lot of cars all of a sudden together. As we see a little bit of touch possibly from the Punisher. Let's see. Let's go on board with the Punisher. Oh, we have a Cherry Bomb pointing the wrong way. We are on board with the Punisher going down into Clearways, and he makes a great move, but then a touch and then no damage. So maybe a little bit of lag for the Punisher. As we go back to the front of the field, Bunnies leads the race with Ragemus in second, Gasman third, Yax in 4th place. A good start for the Mercedes driver, taking up the challenge as his teammate went off into turn 1. Slenderfella is 5th, with Ben in 6th and Ajax in 7th. Those two McLarens running the hard tyres throughout the race, and don't expect them to change their tyres through this race. The hards are incredibly durable, and they'll gain time in the pit stops. Bondimus as well, 8th place there. We're seeing a bit of a gap develop as Kaiser Grim has got all the attention. He's got Mr. Smith having a look into the corner at Hawthorne's Bend, but nothing doing. It's a very tight circuit, as you can tell. Is that a Stefan Johansson helmet, it looks like, for Kaiser Grim in the Renault? As we see, Speckmere has got the attention of Leonardo. He was always my favourite turtle. Leonardo getting past a small mistake, it looked like, from Kaiser Grim, as Jam is all over the back of Leonardo after his incident-filled start. We'll go through the tyres in a moment. But back to the front of the field, Cherry Bomb just in 16th, and Ragemus has taken the lead. Something has happened to Bunnies. Bunnies is down in 7th place. He did a 16.8, so must have made a mistake at the end of his lap. down to 7th. I know Bunnies was feeling under the weather. There's a doubt if he could have made the race. Ben up in 5th on those hard tyres. A very impressive run for him, as we see Slenderfella on the back of Gazman and Yaks. Yaks up into 2nd place now, pushing hard. The action is incredibly tight here in the early moments of this race. Let's have a look. Ragemus leading though, fastest lap of 107.8 on the soft tyres. So he has got his soft tyres used straight off. Yaks also on the softs, holding position with Gazman following. Gazman on the hards. That will explain his slower start at the start of this race. Slenderfella is on the soft, so he'll be chasing down the Ferrari as we go on board. You see the Ferrari of Gazman just running a little bit wide. Slenderfella keeps the pressure on the soft-clad, on the hard-clad Ferrari with his softs. Ben obviously is on the hards, and we're not expecting him to change tyre throughout the race. Ajax has got the attention of his brother Bunnies. Bunnies makes the move up into South Bank and goes up into 6th place on the softs for him. His brother is on the hards. Bondemus also on his medium tyres now as well, so expecting to say softs, but he's not. Then we've got a big gap, a lowy sort of in no man's land with these hard tyres at this stage of the race. Then we have Mr. Smith with softs. Then we have Speckmere in the other Tyrrell on hards. Leonardo on medium tyres in his Ferrari. We've got Jam on the soft tyres in his Mercedes. We see Jam catching up with Leonardo, looking round the outside, but nothing doing as they go through clearways. Punisher is in 14th place on the medium tyres, with Kaiser Grim on the softs. And at the back we have Cherry Bomb after that early moment going off the circuit, but back at the front of the grid we have Ragemus, and he's got quite a nice gap between himself and Yaks. So the gap right now is about 2 seconds, just over between the two cars at the front of this field. The camera tries to catch up to Gazman, who's currently 3rd in the Ferrari. Hard tyres right now. It's going to be painful, but then he has got the mediums and the softs to run later on in the race. Slenderfella is in 4th. He's getting a good drive out towards clearways. Can he make a move into the final corner? It would be a brave move and an impressive one. No, nothing doing for the man in the Red Bull. Ben still keeping the pace in 5th place, but he's got Bunnies right behind him, looking into turn 1. Nothing happening with Slenderfella. Let's go. Oh, as I say that, Slenderfella looked a little bit closer to Gazman, but nothing happening there. Bunnies getting past Ben. Let's have a look at that on the replay. So Ben going through Paddock Hill. Bend. He's on the hard tyres. Bunnies on the soft. So good drive. Bunnies goes up the inside at Druids and gets the move done. Runs a little bit wide on the exit. The curb there very high. You can lose it easily on this circuit. So Ben down to 6th now with Ajax behind him in 7th. These McLarens on the hard tyres looking strong though for the rest of the season. We have the gap then. So Bondemus in 8th place, and then a huge gap now to a Lowy who's clear of these battling cars behind. So we've got Mr. Smith in 10th, Speckmere 11th. We've got Leonardo and Jam continuing their battle down the back straight. So Jam stuck behind a Ferrari, the Ferrari on the overtake. As I say, there is less overtake this season, half the overtake compared to previous seasons. Jam catching up to Leonardo, but it's Ragemus leading the race from Yaks. Yaks keeping that pressure up. There is quite a gap now between himself and Gazman. It's about 6 seconds between 2nd and 3rd, as Gazman, pushing that Ferrari, has got the fast-moving Bunnies. Bunnies will be looking to fight for this championship. Two-time champion. He was in the fight with Matt Psycho and Gazman into the final round last season at Fuji, but it was Gazman with the victory that day, the man who has only ever won in Japan as well. He won in Suzuka, at the end of season number 7, and he won at Fuji at the end of season 8, and the win at Fuji brought him the championship and the number 1 to the Scuderia. So Gasman leads Bunnies. The hard tyres are looking a good race tyre again. Since the update in the summer, the tyres have changed a lot, which has meant the allocations have changed in Formula X, and we see a lot more hard tyres in the docket. The medium tyres on Bondemus, actually only 3 sets for the season for drivers, so it is a tyre that is rare. So we look on board with Bondemus in the Gulf liveried Williams down the hill of Paddock Hill as Ajax runs a little bit wide on the exit but manages to keep it pointing forwards. So Bondemus, sliding the Williams nicely, beautifully out of Druids. We go and look towards the field. We've got Speckmere, Mr. Smith and Leonardo. Jam has fallen down a little bit as gain. The Punisher in 13th place. Cherry Bomb is on the back of Jam now as Kaiser at the back of the field. Another mistake on lap number 6 for him. Very, very easily done though. Ragemus though, feeling the pressure. A 108.0 for him as Yax did a 106.8. Yax currently setting lap times about a second a lap quicker than the race leader. He's now in the slipstream of Ragemus, and that starts to slow you down, as we see. But Yax having a very impressive debut race, here at Brands Hatch. Ragemus had an impressive debut season with a podium at Austria. He's leading for Williams, but he feels the pressure now from Yax. Yax, let's go on board. Down the back straight towards Hawthorne Bend. He won't be able to do a move. It is completely full. A little bit of a confidence lift, I think, as the dirty air starts to affect the front wing of Yax. Gasman has got all the attention of Bunnies still. These two rivals from last season fighting once more, both in red cars, but Bunnies is in the Team Lotus from 1971, Gasman in the 2023 Las Vegas Grand Prix Ferrari. And he is feeling the pressure now from Bunnies as they go to clearways. It's going to be a move possibly out of Paddock Hill Bend. Gasman, though, on the overtake as they go towards the hill. What will Bunnies do? Can he get the drive out of the corner? Can he attack the Ferrari? He has a little cheeky look, but nothing doing yet. It is a tricky circuit to overtake on, and it's not happening for Bunnies at this moment in time. There are a few groups of cars. Let's have a look at the Aloe battle. Oh, I thought we saw Gasman possibly having to defend against Bunnies. We did. That is poor directing from the person in charge of that. Gasman then just not getting the drive, and down into the bank corner. Bunnies gets himself up into 3rd place. He moves further up the field after that mistake early on in the race. Let's have a look further down the field. There are lots of cars fighting with each other on the map. As we see, yes, we see the Punisher. Oh, a little mistake possibly from... No, Mr. Smith. No, it wasn't a mistake. Just a confidence lift into Paddock. A little touch actually with Punisher. The Punisher then moves around the outside. Mr. Smith, it's his first time in league racing, and SNL is definitely one of those leagues you can't just turn up and hope to be successful. You have to take a bit of the rough with the smooth. Ragemus did that last season, and he's leading the race here. So he is having a great second season start. Leading, he qualified in 2nd, but he's got another debutant behind him, and that is Yax in the Mercedes. What can Yax do going towards Hawthorne? I don't think there's any chance of an overtake through there today. Bunnies in 3rd place. pulling away now from Gasman. You can see he was about 2.2 seconds quicker than Gasman on the last lap. So Bunny's currently one of the fastest drivers. There's a yellow flag up ahead. That must be for the Punisher. The Punisher has had an off. So the Punisher not having the best of laps the past couple. He's had a 15 and a 14. It is one of those circuits you lose your rhythm around here, and that is it. It is a painful circuit. But keeping their rhythm, Regimus in first and Yaks in second. Well, we've got a big battle further up. Let's have a look. Here they are. So Aloe has got Spekmir following him. Then Leonardo has got Jam once again following him. So Jam on the back. Oh, a little bit of punishment in the chat. We have Pool Shark. I feel for Mr. Smith. I was there about 9 months ago as I first reserved in GTE. Yes, Pool Shark did do that, and he then, in the latest season of GTE, he got a podium. So I think Pool Shark will say the league has made him quicker, better, more consistent. It seems that way from the GTE season. He had a very nice season, some fourths, some fifths. He backed it up really well. He's most successful in terms of positions. Ben, also a debutant today. He's in 5th place on the hards, and he's outpacing Ajax. And there's Pool Shark confirming in the chat, yes, it has helped. Fantastic to hear. So join SNL if you want. If you want to join us, leave a message. Like, share, subscribe as well. As always, as at the front of the field, we can see that there's been a move for the lead. Regimus was in 1st place, but Yaks is in 2nd, the Canadian. Another one of these Canadians, they keep turning up. He gets the drive out of Paddock Hill, and he gets the move done into Druids. Prime trying to hold it on around the outside. Very tricky to do. Tries to do the cutback, but no, nothing doing. So Regimus now sees a car in front of him for the first time in a long time in this race. For the long-time race leader. So Yaks is leading his first SNL race. We're on lap number 13. So we can see just behind, the Punisher has been lapped already. Bunny's in 3rd. Gasman, oh wow, Gasman having a proper slide there, going out of the banked corner. Ben is in 5th, Ajax 6th, Bondimus 7th, Slenderfella 8th. Oh, Jam is having a fight on. Let's see what's happened there. So he's got past Leonardo and having a fight with Spekmir round the outside. Oh, there's a little bit of a touch. Oh, Spekmir having to go round. Let's go on board. Was there contact? I think there was. Spekmir on board. Jam round the outside, trying to hold it there. There's the 2 drivers. Oh, and there's just enough in these Super Formula cars to have the contact. Oh, and then Spekmir spins it. Oh dear. So Spekmir spun it round. And there's Jam. Jam's off the power, so Jam is trying to redress the situation, but it's not happening as quickly as he may have liked. So at the front of the grid is Yaks in the other Mercedes. His teammate not having the best of times after qualifying higher on the grid. But Yaks keeping his cool. Fastest in the 2nd sector as well. Up on the fastest lap. Regimus in 2nd place with Bunnies in 3rd. Gasman is there in 4th. We do have a battle though, because Ajax has got the attention of Bondimus. Bondimus has caught up. Slenderfella has dropped down. On lap number 6 he dropped down. He was higher up, so he had an accident, but Bondimus now putting the pressure on the 2 McLarens. So Bondimus having a great race too. He's on the medium tyres. He has got a tyre advantage right now on those McLarens. But you can see how narrow this circuit is. A very old circuit here at Brands Hatch. And nothing doing for Bondimus as it stands. Let's see Elsewhere on the field, I think we've got Cherry Bomb in 11th, just past Speckmere. So Cherry Bomb moving up the field, Jam in 13th, Kaiser in 14th, Mr. Smith in 15th, the Punisher. He's having a punishing evening. Down in 16th place, he's getting lapped by Bunnies as Yax is pulling away just slightly from Ragemus. A 109.0 for Ragemus. Was Ragemus held up on the lap, but he lost the lead, possibly, as the fuel light flashes on for Ragemus. It does not for Yax. So Yax has done a little bit of fuel saving, it would seem, in that Mercedes. He goes through clearways and he continues on, but Ragemus into the pits he comes. You can see the tight entry as well here at Brands Hatch. It's such an awkward pit entrance. Bunnies will keep going, but Gasman will not. Gasman will have to pit this lap. Ben also will pit. Ajax will not. Bondimus will pit though. Bondimus all over the back of Ajax, keeping himself in the mirrors of the McLaren, but he'll pop into the pits just like his teammate and close friend Ragemus. So Leonardo there in 9th place now, having an eventful time, but definitely inside the top 10. Getting in the top 10 here in SNL is tricky. It is one of the hard things to do. We see race leaders. Aloe right now, 16th place. He has been on podiums. He'll be aiming, I would think, this season to try and get a race win. He had a very consistent season last year in the Renault, and he's back in the Renault once more. Finished 5th in the championship. Yax then is there as his teammate, I think, having a little bit of a... Oh, Yax has hit the wall! Yax hit the wall into the pit lane. Let's go on board. That is a David Coulthard moment for Yax. As you see ahead, there's Jam. Oh, so Jam and Cherry Bomb having a bit of a moment in the pits, and the other... Oh, and there is Bunnies also having a moment coming into the pits as Tyrrell slowed down in front of him to pit. So Bunnies was trying to use the slipstream and hit the back, I think, of Mr. Smith. So Gasman into the pits now. Ben will be pitting this lap. Ajax will also pit this lap. So we're seeing drivers come in. Slenderfella has no fuel left. Oh, in fact, Ajax keeps going. So Ajax up into 2nd place, does he? He does get ahead of Yax, but Yax on the exit on his medium tyres. Does he get past Ajax? No, a little bit of a touch between the two cars. So it's not quite happening for Ajax. Defending the position. Yax is on the medium tyres now, with Ajax there in 2nd. He will go another lap. Bunny's also going another lap as drivers start to filter out for their new tyres. Jam there in 15th. Cherry Bomb in 14th place on his hards. He's kept them on for his stop. Aloe there moving up. The Punisher is now stopping. Kaiser in the pits. Speckmere in the pits. Leonardo leaves the pits on the medium tyres. It's a new set of mediums for him. Slenderfella on softs after his stop. So a brand new set of softs for him. Bondimus in 7th place. The virtual leader of the race was Yax. And Yax has got a big lead, but Bunnies has short-fueled and not changed tyres. We've seen him do this before. He's doing a different tactic to those around him. He's short-fueled. He's got less tyre health than his rivals. So Yax has got a nice lead actually of a couple of seconds on Ragemus. But up ahead, Bunnies has taken the lead after the pit stop. So we've got a change of position in this race. Gasman currently in 4th place. It's a long way behind Bunnies. About maybe 20 seconds between them. So Bunnies leading the race after a different tactic. So Bunnies leading right now. Yax in 2nd. Ragemus is there in 3rd, with Gasman 4th. Ben in 5th after his pit stop. So he's actually got a bigger gap to his teammate. Bondimus has jumped Ajax. So Bondimus has put himself up into 6th in the Williams. So good pit stop for Bondimus. He didn't change his tyres either. So he's using the medium for a bit longer. Slenderfella using more soft tyres. So I think we're seeing drivers changing tyres, losing time to some of their rivals. Speckmere not changing his hards. There's Jam with a blue flag waving. Jam in the middle of his teammate and Ragemus. Go on board with Ragemus right now. You can see the 2 Mercedes, and the one in front is not the one he's chasing for position. So that will be frustrating. There is a yellow flag up ahead. Somebody's gone off the circuit. What has happened there? That looks like it is Speckmere in the 2 as Jam spins it and loops it. So that will help Ragemus. He will be saying, thank goodness that Mercedes has cleared out of my way. The gap between the top 2, though, a 108.3 for Bunnies, a 107.8, 0.5 of a second quicker was Yax. Ragemus a second off Yax on that lap. Gazman is in 4th on medium tyres. So did Ragemus lose time behind the Mercedes? It looked like he did. Ben currently in 5th place in the Mercedes, having a very nice run in his debut race here in SNL. No worries. His teammates, these McLarens, they look great. Really nice to see. We've never seen the West liveried McLarens here in Formula X, so it's nice to see. We have seen this Turkish Grand Prix livery, but it was all the way back in season 4, so we're starting to see some liveries reappear. It's a very striking Red Bull livery. Here is another one as well. The Williams from the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix. The Gulf liveried Williams. Being driven by Bondimus. Bondimus having a great race, although he did a 1:27 on the last lap. That lost him a lot of time. 20 seconds lost. So possibly some more yellow flags happening up ahead. And somebody has had an off. At the front of the field, it is Yax chasing down his fellow Canadian bunnies. We've got a Canadian invasion right now in SNL. I know Bloodraven joined us recently as well, another Canadian. Quite popular in Canada as it stands at 7.4 compared to 7.3. So Yax is in that slipstream. Ragemus is 7.7 for him right now. With Gazman 4th, 1:08.7 for him, 1:08.2. So he's going a little bit faster now. He's on the medium tyres than he was early on with the hards. So little bits of spaces actually right now. We do have what looks like a battle. Oh no. Well, this Jam goes off once more out of clearways. And say one of those circuits, you just need the momentum. There is what looks like a battle. This seems to be the closest battle though right now on the circuit, and it's the one for the lead. 22 laps into this race, and the gap between the leaders is about a second, maybe less than. Yax pushing hard. There's a Bollard just gone off as well. Someone's had a little bit of an issue, I think, into Hawthorne Bend as we go into Dingledale. Oh, it's a tight corner. Then into Sterling, and then Clearway coming up. Will Yax be close enough to get the move done on Bunnies? Bunnies right now, he's got worn tyres, won't be too happy about it. The grip's not going to be there as it wobbles through Paddock Hill. Yax on the mediums, looking a little bit quicker as it stands. With Ragemus in 3rd, Ragemus closing the gap now, he's catching them up. Ragemus has the red light above his helmet, the halo system, the green on Yax shows that he hasn't used any overtake right now, in fact. So he's fully charged of overtake. Ragemus, he's got less than 25% left in his overtake. There is the red light. If it goes out, that means they have none left in the race. You can see Bunnies has 3/4 of it left on the screen, and it is green as Yax runs wide. He is pushing hard. He's lost a lot of time going through Dingledale corner. So the race at the front is tight. The top three, they're all in the same shot. There they are, going through the home straight. Bunnies leading the race with Yax in second, Ragemus in third. They're fighting hard for this win. Gasman is in fourth place. He's a long way off. He's just coming through clearways now. So Gasman in fourth, Ben in fifth. He's still got Ajax in sixth. These McLarens are flying in formation. They are fifth and sixth, but hard tyres. That's all they're running throughout this race. They're going to gain about 8 seconds on drivers pitting by not changing tyres through this race. Slenderfella is in seventh. Map 23 having a good run. As it stands, Bondemus in eighth as well, having a competitive outing. Leonardo in ninth place in the Ferrari, safely in the top 10. Aloe in 10th, trying to get onto the back of the Ferrari. Mr. Smith looks like he's having some issues, going a little bit slower in the Tyrrell. You might be a bit confused seeing Benetton on the side of that Tyrrell. It's the 1983 Tyrrell, which is the last one that ever won a race. Michele Alboreto driving that car. I can thank my season review from 1998 telling me that information. There it is, being driven by Speckmere. We've lost a driver, it would seem. Speckmere letting the McLarens through. So Tyrrell 14th and 15th as it stands. Matt Psycho will be joining us for round number 2 in that team. So Bunny's leading the race. We've lost Kaisergrim. It may have happened earlier in the race. But Bunny's leading, but being closed down again by Yax. And Ragemus keeping pace, closing Bunnies down. And he'll be catching up because Yax has made a small error coming out of clearways. So Ragemus, he did a 1:10 though, so he's lost a couple of seconds in that lap. The drivers are just starting to get lapped now. The traffic around here does start to become a big issue all around. I've seen drivers making mistakes, running wide, running onto the curb, losing stability. It's a slender fella, 7th place for him. Still running well. Bondemus there in 8th. Keeping himself in contention. Slender fella ahead. He's got soft tyres to run as well for his final stint. He'll pop those on and be very happy, I would think. Some overtake being used by Leonardo as he starts to feel the pressure from Aloe. That pink helmet looking incredibly bright in this Renault. Nothing doing so far. Fastest lap actually for Aloe as well. For him, a 1:08.7 for the Renault driver. Blue flags waving for him. Cherry Bomb and Jam having a fight for 11th place. As blue flags start to wave for them. Who is that behind them? It is Gasman in the Ferrari. Gasman just closing up. There are some fights happening though through the field. You can see a big gap, 9th place to 8th. There's a huge gap of about 13 seconds. A and it's huge on the circuit. As Aloe starts to build the pressure on the Ferrari ahead of him, they come out clearways. Blue flags are waving. This is going to be tricky. Starts to wave very early though. The blue flags are waving, and there is the opportunity for Aloe. Small mistake from Leonardo coming out of clearways. He ran wide onto the gravel, and he goes up into 10th place. Go back to the front of the field. It is, in fact, Bunny's catching up these two. And he's got Yaks all over the back of him, on board with the Mercedes as they come out of Druids for the 28th time through Bottom Bend towards the South Bank. So South Bank is calling it the banked corner earlier. We have a little bit of PlayStation getting too hot moment. Hopefully we keep going. Through we go into Hawthorne Bend. You can see the traffic just causing Bunny's a little bit of distraction now. Bunny's holding the position. He's stuck behind Leonardo. And he's got Yaks pushing hard behind him. Bunny's holding... Oh no, Bunny's losing it! And he gets overtaken by Yaks. How on earth did he keep that pointing the right way? We're going on board with Bunnies out of clearways. Clearway, he had an absolute tank slapper. Here he goes, slide, or catches it. You can see the left front tyre has completely worn, and that means that Yaks retakes the lead in his Mercedes. And right in the background is Ragemus. Ragemus has an opportunity, he has a little look into Druids. Nothing doing yet for the Williams driver, but oh, there goes Bunnies. Bunnies having a spin. Those tyres look like they are cooked and not happy. He's hit the wall as well. So Ragemus all of a sudden up into second place. He can see the race leader just ahead of him. Leonardo is just ahead of Yaks. Will he let him through going into Hawthorns? No. Ooh, this is looking a little bit... Yeah, Yaks not happy with this right now. Oh, a little bit of a wobble right now. And that means Ragemus has an opportunity to overtake. Yes, he does, into Dingledale. Great move, an opportunistic move from Ragemus, as Yaks was blocked a little bit by Leonardo. Ben has had a little bit of an issue. He's dropped down to 8th place, I can see. He had a 22, so he lost 12 seconds with his teammate as Bunny's now into the pits. He's getting rid of those tyres. He's had another off, it would seem, possibly entering the pit lane, as we see Leonardo having a little bit of issue with Yaks once more. Yaks is stuck behind Leonardo. He now gets through at the South Bank, so Leonardo getting in the way a little bit of the racing there. Gasman in 3rd place, currently trying to catch up, so his teammate has inadvertently, I think, held up his rivals. I don't think it was on purpose. The hard tyres now for Bunnies, so Bunnies now running the hards. That was the only option. He had left and he's gone off again. Bunnies just not having a good time of it right now. He's still in 4th place though, after some very scruffy laps, but it's Ajax now catching him up as Ajax goes off himself. So Ajax has hit the wall. That means Slenderfella is up into 5th. So Slenderfella having a brilliant race in 5th place. He's now out of overtake. Ajax, his car is completely damaged at the front, so this means Bondibus has a great opportunity going towards Hawthorne. He gets the move done nice and early, and he's through before the bend, as Ajax struggling to keep that McLaren pointing the right way and keeping it on circuit. So both McLarens in the past couple of laps have had a little bit of an issue, but they're back together once more. Aloe in 9th place, Leonardo there in 10th, Jam 11th, he'll be pitting soon. Cherry Bomb 12th, the Punisher in 13th place. Speckmere in 14th, and then Mr. Smith. Just learning about SNL right now, I think. Using that. So Bondimus in the pits as Ragemus has all the pressure of Yax. Oh no! Has Ragemus got past Yax? Yes, he seems to have done. Or have I got excited? No! I can't remember. Yes, he has got past. He has got past Yax. So Ragemus then in first place. It was during all the kerfuffle with Leonardo. I have a memory for everything apart from what happened about 2 minutes ago. Ragemus then is in first place. He's fighting hard though to keep Yax behind him. Yax has more fuel. So don't expect Yax to come in. Oh, Yax makes the move as Ragemus went a little bit wide because he was coming into the pits. There is the Williams getting some new tyres as well. So he's getting some new tyres. He'll be on the mediums to finish this race. Gasman is in third, and he comes into the pits. He's got Jam ahead of him. So Yax right now has an opportunity to pull away. Yax on those mediums. He's got low fuel as Ragemus comes out of the pits now. Gap about 30 seconds. He's on those medium tyres. So he's used all of his tyres. Gasman, what does he do? He's on the softs now. So Gasman on the softs to finish the race. He's jumped Jam in the pit lane. Ajax in 6th place. So let's have a look. Bunny's now in third once more, with his hard tyres running to the end of the race. Oh, Bunnies has gone off. Oh, my word. That is a massive off for Bunnies. And he loses the position to Gasman. Gasman overtakes his rival from last season. As in the pits is Yax. He's changed his tyres. So he will have hards, I suspect. As we see Ragemus. He had a car going off ahead of him. Ragemus there is second. He'll gain the lead though, will he? Because Yax leaving the pit lane as Ragemus comes into Paddock Hill. No, Yax has the lead. So Yax managing to get a run and has managed to jump Ragemus. He's got quite a gap as it stands. Gasman in third place. Slenderfella dropping now down. Bunny's in fourth, despite the massive off. He still did a 17.4, so about 10 seconds lost on that one, but it looks huge. Ajax in fifth place, chasing down Slenderfella now in the pits, as is Ben. No change, I suspect, for him. Aloe in the pits, some new tyres, surely, for Aloe. No, he doesn't change them. He keeps the softs on. Leonardo in the pits, changing his tyres. Bondimus in 10th now, climbing up the field on softs for the end of the race. Moves up into 7th place now, whilst others around him pit. Cherry Bomb not close enough. We see, is that Ragemus in the wall? I think it is. Let's have a look. So, Yax went off and spun, and so did Ragemus. They had simultaneous spins. Oh my word, they both span into Dingledell. So let's have a look. On board, so running wide, they both ran wide. It was one of those accidents where you just follow the car in front of you. They're both off the circuit, and that means Gasman is going to catch them up. They've both got damage. How much damage? Both have real damage at the front of their cars. Oh my word, and Gasman all of a sudden will see them. In fact, will he get past Yax? Not quite, as we go on board with the Ferrari. The Scottish Saltaire on the top, but Yax is struggling. Yax on the hard tyres. He's got the Ferrari behind him. The Ferrari on the overtake. He's going to have a go into Paddock Hill Bend. So 12 laps to go. 13, in fact, including the one that they're on. Gasman up into second place. Ragemus, though, he's breathing a sigh of relief right now. Currently leading the race after an amazing, dramatic lap number 33, as we saw the race leaders both go off the circuit. We've seen Bunnies have a few offs as well. Ajax, I don't think anybody has really had a clean race. Ajax in 5th. Bondimus now, he's going to get up into 5th place, is he not? Oh, Ajax coming out of the pits. Where will Bondimus see him? He's on the soft tyres. Go on board with the Williams as the McLaren comes out in 5th, just ahead of us. His hard tyres are very worn indeed right now, but oh, he's got fresh hards on. He's put new hards on? That's an interesting move. Of course, he's got only just hards to pick from, so he's got to set a new set of hard tyres onto that McLaren to try and get some pace. Bondimus in 6th place, pushing hard down the back straight. Let's go back to the front of the field. Ragemus, a 110 on the medium tyres, a 107.6 for Gasman on the softs. So Gasman really running fast. Yaks a 10.5 on the hards. Bunnies isn't that far behind either, at 108. So Bunnies nearly 2 seconds quicker. Big gap then between Bunnies and Ajax. It's about 25. Oh, Ajax has run wide. Bondimus has run wide as well. That is what happens here at Brands Hatch. Someone goes off and you just follow them. Ben moves up into 7th place with Bondimus going wide. Aloe, he's got the Punisher just through Paddock Hill. There is Leonardo in 10th. Where's Slenderfella? Slenderfella in 9th. Slenderfella going wide. What on earth is going on? Slenderfella getting a 3-second penalty. Is that overtake? Ooh, let's have a look. Now this might be one of those faults in the game. It is. He's done nothing wrong there, I don't think. And it will randomly just give you a 3-second penalty. So Slenderfella up into 5th place with everything going on chaotically around him. So Slenderfella in 5th. Then into Paddock Hill, we see Ajax going up the inside at Druids. And then, oh, Slenderfella stopping, losing a lot of time by stopping. So was he stopping to try and get rid of the penalty? Possibly, as we see in the background. We see Speckmere and I think the Punisher having a great battle here. Let's go just have a look and watch this. So they're side by side, going out of Bottom Bend, the side by side, then into South Bank. Punisher moving up, so some great battles still happening throughout the race. In fact, Speckmere having another go. He's on the overtake. Will he have a go into Hawthorns? He's already got the move done. Nicely done there by Speckmere. Let's go a little bit further up though, because we've got Slenderfella with that 3-second penalty. He's going to have to slow down, which is going to be so frustrating for him. Oh, he's gone off, and there is also Bondimus. Bondimus has gone off into Dingledell. They're having their own moment, like the race leader a few laps ago. Let's go back to Ragemus. Yellow flags are waving, because right behind him is Gasman. So they're just coming to Dingledell, where his teammate had the issue. So a 109 for Ragemus, a 107.8 for Gasman. Gasman on the soft tyres. He's cutting down the time incredibly rapidly. They've got 10 laps to go here at Brands Hatch. Ragemus leading for Williams. He's led a lot of this race. Gasman will be thinking, how on earth am I chasing down the victory right now? It is all working out nicely. Ragemus now behind Slenderfella on board with the Williams. Slenderfella is in front of us. Is Slenderfella going to let him by? Slenderfella now down in 10th place after a couple of laps. Well, in fact, yes, a couple of nightmarish laps since his pit stop. He's on the mediums. It's all sort of gone wrong for the British driver in 10th. And he's got the race leader behind him. Ragemus has Gasman chasing him down on board with the Ferrari. He runs wide though. He's gone off at Dingledell, and we've seen so many drivers go off through there. concentration now is becoming the issue, I think. They've been racing for 45 minutes. They had a 20-minute qualifying session as well. So they're well into the evening right now for the British drivers. The Canadians, though, it's mid-afternoon. And we have them 3rd, 4th and 5th. As we see ahead, yellow flags waving. I think that's Mr. Smith. Again, going off as Ragemus is still behind Slenderfella. So the Red Bull driver still ahead. Let's go on board with Ragemus. Not quite the opportunity maybe to overtake through there. Let's see if we've got any other battles. There looks like a battle happening. There is. No, it isn't. It's a lapped car. Aloe, I thought, was battling with someone, but that is Speckmere behind him. So, Ragemus still leading as they go through Dingledale once more. He's got Speckmere. Sorry, he's got Slenderfella still ahead of him. Gasman is having a bit of issues as well, I think, in the dirty air. But he's lapping quicker. 109.7 for Ragemus, a 108.1. So Ragemus will be hoping to get rid of Slenderfella. Slenderfella's still ahead of him. Running out wide. Out of Bottom Bend. Through South Bank. So Slenderfella looks like he's slowing down. Going towards Hawthorne. So Ragemus up the... No! Ragemus not getting let by. That looked like the opportunity. You can see Yax in the background as well, having the opportunity to catch them up. Go on board with Ragemus. Through Dingledale. Into Stirling's. He's got Gasman all over the back of him now. And Yax, let's go on board with him. He'll be seeing those cars ahead get bigger and bigger. So it just runs a little bit wide out of Stirling. Down to Paddock Hill once more. And Ragemus, he's still stuck behind Slenderfella. So Slenderfella really, he has been close enough. Oh, a little bit of a touch between the two drivers. And Ragemus. Oh no, Gasman has taken the lead. Well, that is not ideal at all. So on board with Gasman. Ragemus leading with Slenderfella ahead. A little bit of touch, and that slows the momentum of Ragemus down. He has no overtake, and Gasman has. Gasman using the overtake to take the lead on lap number 40 of 46, and he's using the overtake to pull away from his rival. Going down to Hawthorne once more. Ragemus in second place now. That's the dramatic action at this SNL race here at Brands Hatch. Like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's always action-packed. Sometimes, though, the track is a little bit tricky for the drivers. As it's proving tonight, nobody having a clean race, and Gasman taking the lead really since the first time since pole position. Ragemus in second place. Yax is not far behind. The top three then are covered by how many seconds? About 3 seconds. The top three covered by 3 seconds with 6 laps to go, including the one that they're on. Let's have a look through the field then. Bunnies is not far away either. So Bunnies is only... about 6 seconds away. And we've seen Bunnies have massive offs this afternoon. Ajax is in 5th place. Oh, Ben just going through Dingledale. And you see that problem. Aloe seeing the car going off, and he follows straight on. Leonardo in 8th place. He's having a very consistent run. I'll be happy with that. Bondamus as well. Dingledale really proving difficult in these late stages of the race. Slenderfella in 10th place. Cherry Bomb is 11th. Jam has had an accident as well. A 119 on the previous lap. Speckmere is there in 13th place. We can see some of the cars. I think Aloe is having a fight. Yes, he is, with Leonardo. Aloe's tyres are starting to look a little bit worn. Leonardo then in the Ferrari. His teammate has just taken the lead. Can he follow up on that success? Leonardo in the Ferrari, keeping the pressure on for Aloe. Soft tyres for him are looking worn back at the front of the field. Gasman is pulling away from Ragemus. So that difference in tyre, soft to mediums. In fact, we've got hards as well from Yak. So the top three all on the three different compounds. We've also got Bunnies. He's not far off. The yellow flag again as they approach Dingledale. Who's gone off? That is... Oh, Bunnies has gone off. And he hits the Punisher. Oh, that's a big accident for Bunnies. It's a good job we don't have full damage in GTE. I don't in Gran Turismo, because I don't think anyone would finish this race. Gasman in first though. In an incident-filled race, he has no overtake left. Ragemus has the smallest amount left. That might be just a tenth of a second left. He is going quicker than he has gone before though in the first sector and through the second sector. He feels the pressure though from Yaks in the Mercedes. Bunny's in fourth place, still in contention for this, for a podium despite all the events. Ajax in fifth. It's a long way off. His teammate is close to him though. Aloe just pulling away slightly from Leonardo now. 10-6 compared to a 12-8. You see in the background Bondimus moving 9th place. He's got Cherry Bomb a long way behind, in fact. So cars behind him must be those are the leaders. Yes, it is Gasman then. In first place, he's got the teammate of his race leading rival ahead of him, but Bondimus moving to the side, very, very kind there with Gasman. Brilliant to see from Bondimus. He'll be as kind, I would have thought, to Ragemus, unless he gives him a little bit of a tow going up towards Hawthorns. Yes, a little bit of a tow happening between the two Williams, trying to help each other as they can through this back section. It's flat out in these Super Formula cars. You go so fast, and as the grip starts to fade, that is where you see the mistakes. It's Bondimus letting his teammate through. Gasman, 2 laps to go. The current champion leading in the Ferrari. Ragemus is very close. Yaks is in touching distance, but it's starting to look like it is settling down a little bit towards the end of this race. Bunny's not close enough. So, do we have any other battles? Leonardo? No, he's just let by his teammate. So, all the battles that are sort of happening are the lapping of cars here at to Gasman, just over a lap left. Can he hold on though, going into Dingledale? This is where all the issues have been. And he's managing to keep it pointing in the right direction. Ragemus, he's had a second place. He'll feel he could have won this race, as Yaks might do too. Yaks just burning off his overtake now, trying to do some laps. Bunny's in fourth. He's not too far away from Yaks, but it is Gasman leading the race. He goes out of Druids for the final time and through Bottom Bend. He's got Aloe ahead of him. So Aloe in 7th place being lapped. Gasman lapping Aloe. Puts his Ferrari ahead before they get into Hawthorns. So Gasman through Druids. There's a Mercedes up ahead, that must be Jam. There's a yellow flag, not what you want to see in the final sectors. Somebody's had the spin. It's a slow moving Mr. Smith, I think, as he gets out the way. But Gasman comes out of clearways for the final time, and he will take the win here at Brands Hatch in a dramatic Formula X race. Ragemus in 2nd place for Williams, and on his debut in 3rd place will go Yax. Bunnies will finish in 4th place for Team Lotus after a very eventful finish for him. In 7th place, Aloe finished. 8th place was Leonardo on his debut. 9th place was Bondamus after what could have been a lot more. The Punisher finishes in 13th place. Mr. Smith in 15th. Speckmere in 14th. Ajax will be coming round towards the end of his lap. He will finish in 5th in his McLaren. All hard tyres for the McLaren duo, and they finished 5th and 6th. They'll be happy with that result. Anything in the top 10 with that sort of strategy would have been seen as a success, and they've managed to have a very good point score for the McLaren team. Ajax 5th then. Ben in 6th. Who is left going round? Cherry Bomb finished in 10th place, and it is Jam finishing it off across the line. So let's have a look then at the race results. So 1st place was Gasman with that dramatic overtake towards the end of the race. The champion has now won somewhere other than Japan. Fantastic start to his championship campaign. 2nd place is the unfortunate Ragemus Prime. Couple of incidents that he will feel cost him the race this evening, but a great start. 2nd in the race, equaling his best ever finish. In 3rd place was Yax in the Mercedes on his debut. In 4th place was Bunnies after another eventful race in the Team Lotus car. Ajax finished in 5th place in his McLaren, and he was closely followed throughout the race by his teammate Ben. In 7th place was Aloe after starting low down on the grid. He manages to get the 7th place result. Leonardo on his debut in the Ferrari gets 8th, so 2 Ferraris in the top 8 for the Scuderia. In 9th place was Bondamus Prime in this cluster, actually, altogether. So very close finishes there in his Williams. It could have been higher, but for a little mistake towards the end, as many did through Dingledell. Cherry Bomb made his debut, finishing 10th in the Team Lotus car. Slender Fella, it all went wrong towards the end. He was running as high as 4th place at times. Down in 11th place, the Red Bull driver. 12th was Jam, who we saw have a few spins. The Punisher finished in 13th in his Red Bull. Speckmere finished 14th in his Tyrrell. And 15th place in his Tyrrell was Mr. Smith. We had a non-finish, I believe, from Kaisergrim in the Renault. But congratulations to Gasman winning round number 1 of season number 9. Like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Join us again next week. It will be Monday, hopefully, fingers crossed, at 12 o'clock for the live broadcast. But like, share, subscribe, watch this anytime. Comment below as well. It really helps us as a channel. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.